Today we are going to draw a cupcake. I'm going to move this down a little bit so you guys can see a little better. So we are going to draw a realistic cupcake. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hold our paper the tall way. And once you hold it the tall way, you guys are going to use a pencil and then you will trace. The first step we're going to do is very lightly with your pencil, you are going to make a curve like this. So we'll make a curve. Once you make a curve, you're going to make two diagonal lines. 1, 2. Now this is the cupcake liner, which is the paper that you put the batter in. And then we're going to make a curve on the bottom. Once we do that, I'm actually going to draw the table so you get the idea that the cupcake is sitting down. Now to start with the cupcake, we're going to draw points. And what we're going to do is start drawing your points on the line. Try to make them about the same. If they're not the same, that's okay. We'll say they're handmade. And then you're going to go from each point that goes down, you're going to make a line to the bottom of your cupcake. So that is now the cupcake liner. You will have to erase these lines here and these lines. So I'm just going to make little lines to remind you. So those will be erased. Once we erase those, we're going to add the icing of the cupcake. We're actually never going to see the actual cupcake part. We're just going to have liner, frosting. So once we start here, we're going to leave a little of the edge. We're going to come up and make like kind of a blob. Once we draw one blob, we're going to go on top, make a little bit smaller blob. And then lastly, you're going to make your last blob, and you can make it a little pointy if you want, depending on the kind of cupcake. We have a couple of other options. You can add a cherry. And if you're going to add a cherry, you're going to have a little highlight to it like that. If you want to add sprinkles, you can add your little sprinkles on. You can add M&Ms, you could add little stars. Like, sometimes you see cupcakes with like fancy little star sprinkles. So take your time and draw whatever you like for your cupcake. Maybe it's a fall one. You can also do cupcake lines like this. Not cupcake lines, sprinkles. You could just do little lines. Maybe that's like more of a fat sprinkle. There's also little circles. So there's tons of different kinds of sprinkles that you can add to decorate your cake. Now, once you are done tracing everything, we're going to color in the cupcake liner. You can decide if you want blue, purple, green. It doesn't matter, but you're going to need a light and a dark. So I'm going to do blue just as an example. You're going to start out dark and go dark, light, dark, light. So what I do is I take I'm using oil pastels. You guys can use color pencils. You guys can use crayons. You can actually use markers for this project as long as you go neat. So you do light, dark, light, dark. I'm sorry, dark, light, dark, light. Color all this area. I'm gonna go fast and sloppy, but you guys are gonna take your time and go slow. Get rid of all the white spots. The more white spots you get rid of, the more realistic it looks. Okay, going down, and you get the idea. You would finish this up. Then the top of the cupcake, we're gonna actually add a blue. I know it sounds weird, we're gonna make a vanilla icing. You're gonna take a light blue and you're gonna color the left side of the cupcake with the blue. That will give it a little bit of a shadow feel. And then I make it come out just a little bit. This is kind of a strange blue, but you can use a little bit different color blue. But you get the idea. You can use gray if you don't have blue. And I just realized that is really difficult to see. So I'm gonna do it in gray so you can see it a little better. So just like it was hard to see, I'm gonna do this in gray. And then there's my shadow. For the cherry, just like we were talking about before, make sure you leave that little white space, white, and then you would just color the cherry normal. Now the last thing we want to do is we want to draw a shadow on the table. Now if you want doesn't matter what color you want for your table, you will need a dark and a light. I'm going to do green just as an example. I make a U shape like this, and then I color it. That is my shadow. Once I draw my shadow, I then draw the rest of the table the light color. So this is all the light color here. And you'll color all that. Don't forget to color all your little sprinkles and all your little special decorations on your cupcake, and you want to take your time. Now, if you don't want to do gray here, you could do a little pink, so it gives like a little pink highlight. If you want to do like a little yellow, you can do a yellow highlight. Then the last step is you are going to color your background one solid color. So take your time, go slow, and I cannot wait to see your cupcakes.